Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. You are in the place to be if you love all things magical, mystical, and mysterious. But if you are new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so you don't miss out whenever I post a video, because I post several times a week all about the paranormal, witchcraft, and paganism. So if you're into that kind of thing, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button on this video so I know you're enjoying this content, and let me know you're new here in the comments below, and then let's get into this video. So today is actually a continuation of my little series that I have going on witchcraft basics. So if you're new to the craft or you want to get inspiration on different ways to harness your energy and your spell work and your intention, these are the videos for you, as well as they'll be diving into the history of things like the origins of our magical broom, the besom, or our wand. Anything from our tools, our techniques, and the history behind them. That's what this series is all about, and I'm super excited to get it going. My last video I did on this was all about grounding and centering and earthing, and what those things are, the differences, and how to incorporate them into your practice so that you're not feeling tapped out. For me, I know myself when I first started practicing witchcraft that I was doing a protection and energy spell, and I was channeling up through my head and out through my pineal gland, and I know the next day I felt like I was hit like a truck for up to I think 6 days. I was actually doing a protection spell for a paranormal event that I had been experiencing. If you guys would like, I could definitely do a video all about the events that happened with that paranormal event and the outcomes of everything, because it was really super scary, and it's one of my more first experiences with the paranormal. So let me know, and I can definitely do a video all about how I handle that situation and how I did a protection ward against that particular energy or entity, because it was super creepy, and I can do that on my paranormal series. So make sure you guys go check out that last video, as well as I have another video that precursed that as well, all about how does spell work actually work. And I think the next video that I'm going to be doing is all about tarot, so I'm super excited about that, and you'll be doing a grimoire with me about tarot, and I'll be doing a year ahead spread, and you can do it with me while I grimoire in my book, and it's super exciting. I like to do this a couple times a year, and so yeah, just make sure you don't miss out on those videos. So for the topic of today is, how do you actually get into the mindset for spell work? It's different for everybody. For me, I take a more of approach of going into it as my craft, especially coming from Irish and Scottish origins and more of the folk magic, and it's more of an actual living practice. It's something you do every day throughout your day. It's not something you need to really prepare for weeks, and then all of a sudden it's time for ritual, and then that's your only shot. It's something you work into everyday life, and you're doing it constantly. So keep that in mind. This is my personal opinion. Some people like to work only with phases of the moon, and that's okay. But for me, why squander the opportunity when you have an opportunity to bring an abundance spell with your morning coffee, or to do a banishing or cleansing spell when you're cleaning your home? It's something that I find is very practical, and I find I bring my abundance and my manifestations to me so much quicker when I'm actually working with it constantly, instead of worrying and planning about it for weeks on end. Now, don't get me wrong, those types of spells and rituals are super fun, and I do them where I have the bigger rituals where it's more of a high magic type idea, and I do those several times a year, about 4 times a year on the major holidays. But for my everyday practice, I am definitely doing things more on an everyday practical basis. So when you're thinking about your spell work and you're getting ready to do a ritual, you want to think about your intention. Like I say in all my videos, your intention is your key idea for everything. It's the lock and key to your entire working. If you don't have your intention thought out, your manifestation is not going to manifest. So you want to think about your intention. For example, is this a spell for anxiety? If it's a spell for anxiety, your energy you want to put towards it needs to be really gentle and soothing and calming and almost meditative. if you are doing a spell for abundance, you want to think about, what does abundance make you feel like? When you're feeling overly abundant and you're pouring over with abundance, what does that feel like for you? Does it feel like freedom? Does it feel like joy? Does it feel like love? So for your abundance spell, for me, it feels like freedom and joy. When I'm laughing and having fun with my friends or my girlfriends, that's the feeling of abundance, is when I am just overly happy and I can't stop laughing. So for me, getting into energy of feeling like I can't stop laughing, I'm having so much fun, everything is amazing, I'm just having a really good time, that's the energy I want to get into for my abundance spell. But for you, it might be different. For me, I usually watch a few videos that I know always make me laugh. I watch some comedy, or I get into a tickle fight with somebody, just mess around and goof around until we're laughing and having fun. And then once I'm in that elevated state, I'll like excuse myself for a little bit, have some time by myself, and focus on my ritual. And I find that's the best way to go about things. If you are looking for an anxiety spell, you definitely want to be doing something a little bit more calm. So maybe for you, it's taking a nice, calm Epsom salt bath and doing yoga and meditation. Maybe that's something that's more helpful for you, and smelling the incense as it's burning and getting into that deep meditative state, which will help with anxiety. That's the energy you kind of want to bring for that type of spell. So you really want to give a thought to what the energy is that you're trying to portray. However, if you're doing something like a banishing spell or a protection spell, there is room for, in my opinion, more angry energy. All energy is good energy, in my opinion. So as long as you're pointing it towards the right direction. For example, you don't want to be really angry and elevated and fiery if you are trying to do a anti-anxiety spell, if that makes sense. But if it does match up with, say, you are really fiery and passionate and excitable, and you're feeling that way, but you wanted to do a fire spell for quick abundance, or if you want to do a spell for Bridget, for example, she is a goddess of the fire, the home, and the hearth. She would resonate with that fiery intent, right? So you don't want to be directing it in the wrong way, if that makes sense. So a little bit of anger is okay. Or if you were wanting a little bit of a chaotic energy, you just want to shake things up and make it happen really quickly. You don't care how the energy flips out and folds out onto the table. You can do a shaker jar spell, for example, and shake that energy up. That is something that's actually going to be very chaotic energy, is the shaking of things. For example, if you're doing a anxiety calming oil, you want to, when you're mixing the oil, you want to be turning it slowly and rotating it slowly. If you're doing a get the hell up and get a job oil, you want to be shaking that energy up and moving things and shaking off like the excess dead energy. You want to have that chaotic energy to break things up. So it all depends on your intent and how you want the spell to pan out. So for me, what I do when I want to be calm and sedative is I do a little bit of journaling. I'll do a little bit of a nature walk. If it's weather permitting, I'll be able to walk outside. I'll do some earthing with my feet on the ground. That will help me bring me down to earth if I'm feeling very chaotic. If I want to feel chaotic, I might actually go for a run. I might read some news if I'm feeling to make me feel angry. It really depends on what gets you fired up. Thinking about something that makes you really passionate. If you want something that makes you feel really passionate, think about things that you're passionate about and how you can do good in the world to help bring those things about that make you excitable and fired up for making change in the world for a passion spell. For example, if I'm working with water energy, I'll go out and have a swim or walk in the stream or the river. If I'm working with fire energy, I will meditate with a candle flame and scry into the candle flame. If I'm looking to work with a deity energy, I will meditate on their energy and ask for a meeting in the astral with them. These are the types of things you need to do to prepare for spell work. So basically, there's only really one step to getting into the mood of spell working, and that is just focusing on what the intent is. Once you know what your intent is, then you know what energy you want to portray, and you'll kind of know how to get to that point. If you want to be anti-anxiety, do things that make you feel calm, breathing aromatherapies, or having a nice bath, or going for a nice massage, and then doing your spell work. With all that said and done, in my opinion, you don't always need these types of techniques and tools to do your spell working. For me, if you're really feeling very anxious and that you need to be brought down to earth, or you're feeling very low energy and you need to raise your energy, then these are the tools and techniques that I would suggest to do. Find things that make you feel these energies and then go out and do them. What is it that makes you feel higher energy? Hanging out with friends, going for your bike ride, working out, those are all endorphin boosters. Do those types of things to raise energy. If you're feeling very in the clouds and floaty and you want to be brought down to earth, yoga, meditation, having a nice cup of tea, and journaling thoughtfully, stretching and breathing in aromatherapies, maybe having a lower dimmed light in your room when you're doing your ritual would help for you with that kind of thing. But you don't always need to do those types of things. For me, on an everyday basis, you don't really need to get into the mindset of a spell work, because for me, in my practice, it is a living practice. It is something we do every single day. If I am cooking, I am thinking with intent with the ingredients that are in my food pot, and I am stirring either things towards me or away from me, and I am thinking with intention. If I'm pouring in ingredients, I am pouring it in the shape of a sigil. That is my spell there. And then once it's baked and we take in that food, that is the ritual in itself, and that is the entire spell in itself. So you take in that spell. If you're doing a cleansing ritual, then you are cleansing, purifying, protecting all at the same time. So for me, when I'm pouring in my mop bucket, I'm thinking about cleansing energy and clearing my space and getting rid of all the muck and the negative energy that may have been building up in the home. And then when I'm adding my essential oils, those are the properties that I'm going to be thinking about. The lemon essential oils and the lime, and what those things bring to the water bucket when I'm adding them. And when I'm mopping, I'm thinking about it clearing out the cobwebs. So you don't need to really give it too much thought. If you feel like you really need assistance in these types of things, then definitely let me know in the comments below, and I can throw out some ideas for you guys to help you bring up your energy or bring down your energy if you're feeling like you need assistance. I always find if you're feeling really low energy, dancing or smiling in the mirror really helps to bring up your energy. Even if you don't feel like smiling, I find if you smile in the mirror long enough, you'll start to smile. I'm doing it right now because I'm thinking about it. You'll start to smile automatically, and you'll have those happy endorphins actually fire in your brain, which will create a endorphin effect, which will make you happy, in turn raising your heightened energy level. If you're feeling very hectic, deep breaths and deep belly breathing is super helpful for me. So actually putting your hands on your stomach and feeling the rise and fall of your stomach as you fill in full breaths, and then take your time. Don't rush through your breath. Feel through the entirety of the airflow. So once it enters your nose, down your esophagus and into your lungs, and filling your abdominal walls, and then as it falls, and then outwards again. Focusing on that flow, the ebb and the flow, almost like the crashing of water on the bank, right? You want to feel that energy. I hope this video was helpful. I feel like I was a little bit rambly, but I hope it was helpful for you guys. Make sure you check out my next video. It's all going to be on the subject of tarot and how to use them in witchcraft and spell work. And then I'll be also doing a grimoire with me in that video, where I will take you into my grimoire and we'll be doing a year ahead spread, which is super helpful to help you give a little bit of insight into the coming year. So I'm super excited for that. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay witchy, guys.